Hello, hello, my friends. It is Monday, June the 30th, the last day of Pride before we set into Hillbilly Christmas. Y'all are going to have to bear with me. I have tried to record this like 4 times. My nose is itching unbearably, like the tip of it right here. And I try to re-record it and it starts itching. And I'm re-recording and it's itching. So if you see me doing this, it's because right here I've got like this itch and it's not stopping and it's right on the tip of my nose. And no, it's not booger sugar. I am not the president, okay? Nor any member of the junk drawer. So this is not a booger sugar itch. This is a legitimate, what is this, allergies? I have a Siamese cat and I am allergic to cats, but he's hypoallergenic and for the most part, I don't have too much of a reaction unless I've done something like if I touch him and then touch my face without washing my hands, something will happen. So now I'm sitting here going, I wonder if I accidentally scratched my nose after I brushed him and didn't think about it. And now it's like itching because it's that reaction for a few minutes. It'll go away. But oh my gosh. Anyway, so, my darlings, I'm seeing the same comments you are seeing. More and more people going, how long is this going to take? What is it going to take? First and foremost, darling, stop trying to appeal to the empathy of monsters. Okay? Anyone who's still on board with this are just monsters. They knew what they were doing. Okay, no, they aren't shocked now that they're going to denaturalize people. The same folks who keep telling you with a straight face that they're just taking criminals and the illegals know daggone well that that's not what's happening. That's just a convenient excuse that they can hide behind so they don't have to acknowledge the truth. Today I had one of these men tell me that in 3 years everything's going to be just the same. Nothing's really changing. Nothing's happening. In 3 years it's all going to go back to the way it was. Everyone's just tripping for no reason. Again, male. Because he thinks he's untouchable. And that's the problem. The problem are the amount of people, not that secretly want this, it's the amount of people who don't want to think about it. It's the amount of people who can't handle the stress. These are the same folks who don't like teaching real history, by the way. The ones who don't like hearing uncomfortable truths, those are the ones who are having problems right now accepting reality and are just checking out and going, you know what, this is all going to blow over. You know what, it's not going to be that big a deal. You know what, you're the one blowing out of proportion. Now, they're still calling us fearmongers after being right about absolutely everything in less than 7 months, and they're still mad at you if you talk about what's happening, if you point out what's happening, if you point out the hypocrisy, if you point out things like, sure, yeah, Obama had a lot of deportations. You didn't really know about it, did you? You want to know why? Because people had due process. They weren't kidnapping people off of the streets to throw them on a plane that might go over the ocean and come back empty. Okay, they were done correctly, so you didn't hear about it. These people are not doing it correctly. They're doing it as cruelly as possible for the splash to feed their monstrous cult base who enjoys it. They enjoy knowing that a woman lost her child. They enjoy knowing that children are being taken from their families. They enjoy seeing people getting dropped out of helicopters. They enjoy knowing that, hey, maybe those cargo planes are flying over the ocean to empty the human cargo and return. They enjoy all of that. And if they continue to hold the reins, darling, by the end of this year, it'll be televised and they'll be watching it with their families before they pray to Jesus for dinner. They'll be watching people get dropped out of planes in shackles. Okay, going, hallelujah, amen, this is everything we wanted. Thank you, Orange Prophet, because they still haven't figured out that they are blasphemers and idolaters. They love a person, they love flags, they love things, they love everything that their Jesus was against, and they don't know it because they never cracked open the book for themselves. You already saw, anytime you read to them from the book, they lose their minds. They don't want to know what's actually in there. They want the bald, angry guy with the convicted PDF brother, talking about 412 here in Temecula again, to tell them that Jesus was just as angry and hateful as them. Okay? So while they're busy making excuses for why it's okay to disappear people, now it's denaturalizing. It's not too long before it's ideology. Sorry, I told you, it keeps itching. They're already doing it. Okay? We want the death penalty for Democrats. They're ruining everything. They're terrorists. They're the ones ruining democracy. We have control of nothing. The Democrats are doing nothing, and they are still, Team Red is still gunning for them. Democratic lawmakers were taken out. The president went golfing during their funerals to send a message. Okay? The kid who just did what he did in Idaho, if he was still alive, In a few weeks, he would be getting a presidential tour of the White House. He would be invited to box seats somewhere. He would be given a book tour. He'd be on TV because that is what they do for their criminals. That is what they do for their killers and their murderers. That is what they do. That is the culture. That is what they are about. And I'm talking about the patriots and the Christians, the evangelicals, the prosperity gospels, the people speaking in tongues in front of the White House on taxpayer dime, proclaiming this land for whites and their profit. Darling, like I said before, we can solve this conversation real quick. Everybody outside. Everybody outside. If America is meant for white, blonde, lily white, pale-skinned, blue, veiny people, then everybody go outside and we'll see who can last. No sunscreen, no hats, no umbrellas, no pavilions, no tents, nothing. Just the skin in direct sunlight, and let's see who can stand the longest. And then we can talk about who belongs in this part of the world. Like, it's insane. That's all we would have to do. But rather than do that, they're just running around going, it's for us. It's for us because God says, God gave you a land that can kill you? Really? Interesting. That's what he did, huh? You sure about that? That's the story you want to go with? God promised you a land that you're not evolved to handle? Okay. All right. Oh, they really believe that the system is here to protect them. And that's the other group of people that need to be kind of shaken, are the folks who their entire lives have believed that the structure is here to protect them. The cops are here to protect them. We have checks and balances to keep things in order. Listen to me. The founding fathers didn't write provisions to keep felons from going into the White House because never in a million years did they think that the American population would be so stupid and hateful that they would actually intentionally put a repeat criminal in the highest role of the land and allow him to just go ahead and fill every role with criminals and loyalists and ZZs, right? And folks are sitting around going, who's going to do something? Where's the U.S. Marshals? Where's Congress? Where's SCOTUS? There's no one. There's no one but the people. There's no one but the ants who need to figure out how to organize and fill a boot so we can squish some grasshoppers, but expecting the system to work. Now you sound like one of the Dems, one of the do-nothing Dems, one of the ones that stood there and clapped and said, decorum. Okay, the people that keep going, they are also saying someone has to do something. Did you catch that? Team Blue is also going, someone has to do something. So I don't know why. Look, I know that historically speaking, certain people are not known to stand up and fight for themselves unless someone else starts it, someone else does it first, or they have other bodies they can put out front for them to come behind. And that's another hindrance here. Is they have to do it. And I'm not talking, y'all, I love y'all, Alabaster accomplices, y'all know who you are. You know who I'm talking about. The ones who think this is going to blow over so they're not motivated yet. The ones who are still telling themselves it's only illegals that they're taking. And again, I have people in my own family like this. Okay? I have people in my own family who will say the nastiest things about Mexicans anytime you bring this up because that's who they want gone. They want Mexicans out of here. And I'm like, if you don't, I don't know why you think they're going to go for them and not you. You think because you agree, that is the same thing the Latinos for you know who, they fell for that same trap, going, we don't like the blacks, and now they're being deported. You're sitting over here going, I don't like Mexicans, and darling, they're going to come for you too next. All right, so here we go. The thing is getting the information, getting the numbers. Stop trying to appeal to their empathy. Stop trying to get them to admit that there's a line somewhere. Stop talking to them. Stop tripping over like stuff like the bill that you know they're going to do. It is a distraction to get upset over. If they have the votes, do they not have the votes? Is this stripped? Is that stripped? They're going to do some version of it. Let's not lose sight of the forest for the trees. All these little things they're doing, they all count. It's not a distraction. They're doing everything. They're doing it. What they're doing is flooding the zone. We keep saying this. It's intentional to throw everything at you so you can only focus on a couple of things. And instead of focusing on what to call your legislators to stop, you need to realize that the rules no longer apply. The structure will not protect you. There are no checks and balances. No one else is coming. No one is going to do their job. There are criminals running the show. And the only way to handle that is to hit them in the wallets or pull them out ourselves. It's strike or revolt or both. But sitting around going, is someone going to do something? Or it's all going to be fine in 3 years. Just you wait and see is not the answer. And I hope we don't have to live to see that proved correct. I don't want to have to say I told you so about that. I would like to fix it, okay?